Hello there. Yes, I'm Akhaze, and this is my lovely wife, Folasade. So today, 20th of August, 2025, we are actually celebrating our 14th year anniversary. How does it feel? Great.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're actually celebrating our 14th year anniversary today, and we decided that unlike other years where we just do some celebrations, and things like that, we decided to do this video just to talk about, look at our marriage and ask ourselves if truly marriage is a scam. I'm sure you know, and I know, in recent years, people will say, "Oh, marriage is a scam." They will say those who are who are married, they are just they're married but they're not fulfilled. That they are just enduring. And then even some of those who are not married, they will say that it's not easy to find faithful guys or faithful ladies these days.
Men
are good men and good ladies are scarce and things like that. All these things and so on, all of them. But we want to find out, or we want to discuss and find out, is marriage truly a scam? I want to talk about that today. So today, in this video, it's going to be like a question and answer kind of format. We're going to ask ourselves questions, and we're going to answer the questions. In a nutshell, we're going to talk about what we did before we met each other, and we're going to ask questions that will trigger those responses. What we did before we met each other, then also the actions we took during our courtship. That's the second thing we're going to focus on. Then how our marriage has fared, up till today, from the early years till date, after 14 years. Is marriage really a scam? Like the thumbnail says, was it worth it getting married? We want to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about the challenges we faced and how we overcame them, and if we actually overcame them. And then we're going to talk about our current status of our marriage, things like that. So those are the 4 or 5 areas we're going to talk about. So let me ask you, how has marriage been these 14 years? Just in a sentence, not in a sentence. How has marriage been these 14 years?
Unveiling. We are getting to know each other, getting better and better.
Okay.
I remember when we were getting married, there's one statement that one of our counselors said, the higher you go, the sweeter it becomes. And I think they prayed that prayer for us, that the higher it goes, the sweeter it becomes. And I can say that of the truth, this marriage has been like that. The more we are getting to know each other.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
The more we are getting to know each other, the more we are enjoying each other, the more we are enjoying the institution. So for me, that's how it has been.
Okay, well, for me, how has marriage been these 14 years? Well, we thank God. It could get better. It is still getting better. We are work in progress. That's what I will say. So let's go. That was just like a opening question. So okay, how and when did your people are asking these questions, so we are answering. How and when did your relationship start? Should I take that, or you should have?
Okay, you can go ahead.
Okay, how and when did our relationship start? Okay, our relationship started in 2009. Yes, in 2009, we actually met in church while having a church program. It's a singles program, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, a singles program, and that's how we met. It was a video.
It was a VG, Pastor.
Okay, it was a video.
Somebody came to introduce me to you. I was the.
Okay, no, but I had first seen you before that video. I had seen you when we had a singles program. I seen you, but I did not say anything. That was in our church now, in the first class.
I can't remember.
Yes.
I can't remember.
We had a singles program. That was the first time I saw you, but we did not. I did not. I was serving drinks that dinner, so I served. Maybe you can't remember. Can you imagine? So you didn't notice me, but I noticed you.
Okay.
But that video you are referring to. Okay, that was when we were kind of formally introduced
to each other.
As
that
what do you call it?
We have a program that will be working together.
What's the name of
that's
that
the first time I.
Yes, youth, zonal youth.
Oh,
yeah, zonal youth.
Like that.
That
the youth pastor came to introduce me to you.
Yes.
I and you and one other guy, we had to. That was the first time I came in contact with you.
Yes. Shout out to Reverend Edward.
Yes.
Oh, he was pastor then, but he's now Reverend. Reverend Edward Murray, shout out to you.
Yes.
You were the initiator. Unknowingly.
Okay, so I don't know whether it was unknowingly, but when he came to me, he asked me some questions.
Yeah.
Am I in a relationship? And I said no.
Yes.
I think I don't know whether you have told him you have said something to him before then. I don't know.
No, that would be later. That was later.
Yes.
That was not initially. Okay. So, like I said, the relationship started in 2009.
9.
Yeah. Well, I
think
I proposed to her.
It should be around April.
Yeah, that
we are planning a youth program
yes.
around that.
Yes.
And youth will be having their week.
Yeah, but I actually proposed to you on, I can't forget, August 1st.
Okay.
August 1st. Yeah, August 1st, 2009. That's when I proposed to you. And you eventually said yes, November 7th or so. So it took 3 months.
Yes. So very good at
yeah, at time. Chronology. Okay, so that was how we started. We started our relationship. Actually, our relationship started November 2009 when she said yes to me, and she invited me to your pastor's office. In fact, she said yes to me after she had invited me to our pastor's.
Yes. I did not say yes to you until my pastor interviewed you.
Yes. After
yes, I remember that.
He said. I remember he said, he asked you that have
you
said yes? He said no, you haven't.
Okay.
So I said okay. I think he said we should go home. We should leave his office. So anyway, so we are not boring more details. Yeah, that's how we started. We started our relationship. So for those who are asking,
that is for you.
Eh?
That's your own part.
Okay.
Yes.
And the question is, how and when did you start your relationship start? So let's just.
That is I said that is for your own part.
Okay.
For me, the way it started is quite different from what you have just explained. If I'm going to, for me, after we have been introduced to anchor a program, to plan a program, I think it was 3 of us, 2 of you, 2 guys, you and one other guy, another youth president. In another church that we are under the same zone, and myself. So the 3 of us are supposed to come together and plan. I remember you asked for my address or something. I gave you my shop address. So there are times that you will come to shop, you will just come. Me, you are just coming. We plan. You sit down.
Programs and,
I don't know. On a good day, if you are my friend, like any other friend, I will entertain you. I will maybe buy drinks for you or get you a food or whatever. And I think I do that. I don't know. I can't remember.
I think it,
so at that level, it wasn't anything. You were just planning. You come. I don't know how many times. It was just on a. You just come. I don't know. We will discuss things and you will go or whatever. So the day you were supposed to, I don't know. We have not really talked much in terms of knowing each other, apart from coming to my shop.
For the official things.
Yes, apart from coming to my place of business then.
Yes.
I don't think you have come to our house before.
No.
And I have not been to
it was after you
said yes.
It was after we left your pastor's office that day, November 7th, that I came to your house.
Okay.
I've not been to your house before. Yeah.
So when there was a particular day, I think the day you came, and I've entertained you, you were about leaving. And as I was just seeing you just say, I just popped the question. I can't remember the way. I can't remember the way I was like.
What did I even say?
I can't remember the way you said it. I was just
okay.
I'll go and pray about it. I just say I'll go and pray
I came
about
to your shop.
And that was it for me. I wasn't really, for me at that time, I just came back not quite long from service here. Okay, no, it has been a while.
About 2 years.
Yes, about 2 years now.
2 years.
Okay, so and I'm just making friends and all that. So it was just like any other thing, church brother like that. We have a program to plan and that's all. So when you now pop the question, I have to go and be praying. Thank God for MTN. MTN cool.
Yes.
We use those times to make calls at night so that we can. You have so many lists, so many questions.
Yeah, that was during the courtship. Yeah, I think we'll still get to that.
Even before the courtship, I can't. At the point, we have not really. I've not really said yes to you. That you'll be asking question. Do I? You will be asking question. Different. At the time, you ask about age. Those things.
Okay.
So.
You don't take.
I can't forget that.
Yeah, you remember now.
Yes, I know that you have a lot of questions. We're asking questions, and we use those nights, those extra cool nights to ask those questions, to get to know each other, because you have work, you are working on island at that time, so, and you are living in, so it wasn't a close whatever. So we were using those moments to really ask questions and know a lot of about each other.
Okay.
So then I was just looking at that brother, that oh my God, that brother that his shirt and you
yes,
and he be talking his shirt like this, and his trousers were like, I was just like, honestly, if I was to look at the appearance at that time, no, it wasn't.
Really, I wasn't looking at it.
It wasn't really cool.
I wasn't looking at it at all.
But then I know I had to look beyond the dressing, because in fact the dressing has changed so far compared to what it was. So thank God I didn't say no because of that dressing at that time. I don't know the okay.
Yes, no problem. You've really done quite a lot on I mean how the and when the relationship have been. In fact, you had quite a lot more than what I had to say on that, but that's okay. So the next question, let's go to the next question. And it says, what qualities do you look for in a spouse before you met each other?
I think
what qualities did you look for in a spouse before you met each other? What qualities?
Can you go ahead and answer that?
Okay,
because I think you have said something like that in the other video.
No, but this is a different video.
I know, but
this is a different video, a different channel.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so for me, one of the prime quality I was looking for in a spouse is a man that has the fear of God.
Okay.
A child of God and that has the fear of God.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can see there are several children of God, but sometimes the fear of God is lacking in a lot of people. But when you have people that has a fear of God, but every other things you can teach each other, you can learn it, you can unlearn some things. But the fear of God is the main thing. When you have somebody that has a fear of God, you will not want to hurt the other person. So for me, that one is a critical aspect. Being a child of God, he must be born again, and then he must have the fear of God. The other things, whether he's tall, he's handsome, he's dark, all those ones are inconsequential for me. And whether he fine, everybody wants to have somebody that is rich. But it doesn't have to be, but it wasn't even a big deal at that time, because I know we are growing up. I myself, how much do I have in an account then that I will be saying somebody must have a certain amount? You understand? So that one is not really a priority for me, because I know that God is my source and I can always make money or whatever. So what else?
Yeah, okay. For me, well, you said one of them, which is I was looking out for, course, the first criteria is a lady who is, because I'm a Christian, so I got to marry a Christian. I was looking not just a Christian, because not just a church goer. I was looking out for a born again Christian, someone who is genuine, who has a genuine fear of God. That's one. And I was also looking for a lady who is industrious. In fact, when I mean industrious, someone who was not a 9-to-5 person, someone who was good with her hands or good business minded. And why was that? Because years before I met her, God had told me somehow, maybe studying the Bible and in some ways, that look, the lady you're going to marry, or lady that will be best for you, is someone who is industrious. And I said fine. I took note of that, And so when I met her and I found out that she's into business. Yes, she's a graduate, with a 2-1, but she was into business and very, very agile and very, like they call it in Jama, So I that was also one of the things that I looked out for, And then also, okay, that's one I've mentioned 2 now. The third thing is someone who will be, I knew that I was not, like she said, I'm not a rich man, I'm not a wealthy, I'm not bringing a car, or I don't have a house or something like that. I was looking for someone that was willing to grow with me.
Together.
Yes, grow with me. That's one key thing I was looking for, because I knew even at that, even compared to now, even at that time, I know some ladies will look down at this person, he doesn't have this. I wanted someone who will love me for who I was, for who I was,
or who you are becoming.
Who I was and who I'm going to become, not who I am, not being made. So I was looking out for such a lady, and actually she actually proved that. Time may not permit me to say as much as but she actually proved those those qualities. So those are some of the qualities that I looked out for in my spouse before I met her. Okay, number 3, it says, what were the deal breakers for you in choosing a partner? I think we have mentioned what are the deal breakers. What is that thing that if you saw in a guy, for you, example, if you saw in a guy, you say, no, I'm not going to marry this person.
For me,
do just one thing or two max.
Character is very critical. It's a very critical thing.
Yeah.
I remember that other guy that I told you that proposed. That other guy, he too was a Christian.
Yeah.
No, he was a Christian, but when I saw some of his character, I saw some things in his character.
Yeah.
Like a guy that is proud. No. We can't go together.
Wow.
Because even the Bible says that God looks at the proud from afar.
From afar, yes.
I don't want to, we need to be humble. No matter how whatever you have in you, you are a great speaker, you are a great communicator, whatever. You need to be humble.
Yeah.
So for me, if somebody is proud, so character is very essential. If I see somebody that tells lie or that is not consistent, that is shady, no, for me it won't go, it won't work. So I look at the character. Aside the fact that you are a child of God, you are born again, it's good, fantastic. But nowadays, you find a lot of Christians with bad characters. I look at the characters. No matter how you may be speaking in tongue, blasting in tongue from morning to night, but if you don't have a good character, it's the no for me. So
for me, you talked about character. Of course, I too, character was very important. The second one I would say is I was not a loud person. Loud people just put me off. Loud, people who just just talk just anyhow, and they are always, I think what's the English word? Is it garrulous? I think also there's a word they call it. Someone who just talks anyhow, Such things put me off. I feel that someone who cannot control her mouth, you understand, who can't control herself, you understand, will be, of course, it's going to be a problem, in marriage. It's going to be a problem. So that was that. Then, of course, because I was also a very conservative person, I also, aside from being a Christian, aside from someone not being a Christian, the one thing that will put me off is being very flamboyant. Fine, some people are. It's just a personal thing. Let me put it that way. It's not like it's a sin or something like that. So one of the things that I like to be quiet. So I love someone that will also be, when I mean quiet, I'm not saying quiet in terms of talking about, quiet in terms of
spending
appearance and whatever, conservative, and by God's grace, I can say you fit that. You fit that.
Can change you.
Well, you fit that at least 14 years down the line.
People can change you.
Okay. Yeah. So the next one. So did you pray, fast, or seek guidance before deciding to marry each other? Did we both?
Yes, of course.
Of course.
Marriage is a spiritual institution.
Yep.
It's a spiritual institution. It's not something that you can just go.
Just
wake
like
up and say, this is the person I want to marry. I'm just going to marry them.
Yeah.
No. So you need to seek God's counsel, because it's only God that knows a man true and true.
Yeah.
It's only God that knows what a man is going to become 5 years time, 10 years time.
That's the truth.
So it's only God that can really say that yes, this is the person that can match you. This is the person that can work with you. Just like I just said now, people change. People change.
Yeah.
So whatever changes I am going to go through in my own life, God already knows. Sometimes some of them may be surprising me. They may be a surprise even to my partner.
Yeah.
But God already knows, and He knows the person that can actually accommodate those kind of
that's
changes.
the reason why you need to pray.
So that's why you need to really involve God in anything that when it comes to marriage, you need to involve God. It's not something that you can't just you look at this person, okay, it ticks. You look at your you look at your, what do you call it, your qualities, the list that you have written down, the standard you have written down, and yes, this guy is tall, he's dark, he's handsome. You will learn. So it's something that you truly need to involve God. Pray if you can, fast if you know how you communicate with God, is very very important. Personally, yes, I did. In fact, I said this before, I think I said in another video, that I started praying for my spouse when I was like 18 years or 19 years old. And I think I proposed to you, like, was it not 9 or 10 years later? That's when I prayed. So I actually prayed a lot. So when it comes to praying, fasting, seeking God's guidance, I actually did that. I actually did, and it's so critical, just like she has said. I will not repeat what she has said, because God is the one that knows the end from the beginning. He knows if a brother is kabashing right now, he knows whether he will kabash in the next 10 years, or whether he will be among cultists, or will be among Yahoo guys in the next 10 years. It's only God that knows. So if you pray, God will. In fact, I even advise even people that have been engaged. You might be engaged to your spouse, you understand? Still keep on praying. In fact, we did, pray that God reveal this person to me. Because the fact that you are, if I did a video now, that the fact that someone has said yes to you, or you have said yes to somebody, does not mean that is the final. I mean, that's not the final, but it doesn't mean that it's sealed. When you said I do. Yes, until you say I do. That's the final. Like they say, a broken courtship is still better than a broken marriage. So if you're doing the courtship, you see some things that you don't like. Like they say, you see some red flag. It's better.
And it's God that can reveal those red flags to you.
I have an experience in that line. You understand? I know that story. So if it is better, it is being cut off at that time. God will show you some certain things, of course, to why you are cutting each other, for you to be able to decide. As you were talking, something just comes to my mind. The Bible says that watch and pray. That is what it means. Even as you are going in the courtship, be watching. Look at this person's character. Sometimes some people can go to the extent of even testing each other. I had a testimony and
I did though. Maybe you didn't know. I did for you now. You didn't know, because I sometimes before I go to your before I come to you in your shop, when those times we were cutting, I will write some questions that I will ask her this question. I will ask her this question. Her response will tell me what is in her heart, what is in her mind. I know I did it.
I never knew. But I had a testimony of a pastor, one popular pastor recently. While he was in coach, he was doing something like that. There was maybe it was like a test. He borrowed some money from the person, the so-called person he was supposed to go to get married. So that the money that he borrowed, he used it for one ministry that he's involved into. And when it was time for the lady to get back her money, he was actually like, this person, if this person believe in my vision, you should be able to give some things to support my ministry. Let me see how this person will react. So when it was time for the lady to collect back her money, the guy gave her back the money, and she collected everything. She did not even say, maybe I should part with some or the money or whatever. So it shows that for him, in fact, that day he said, as he was returning the money back in a letter, in an envelope, he had already written break up letter inside the envelope. So I gave it to the lady. That the lady, as he is going,
some people will say that's very hard.
In fact, he said at that time, there was not even phone calls, can't make calls or whatever. So they saw each other. He had already written the thing. As is this girl, if she collected this money, that's the final. And the lady collected the money and he went, and that was how he ended the relationship. He said, of course, now if you believe in somebody's cause,
no, of course,
even if you don't have the empowerment, but some people they don't know. Some ladies will fail some tests, some men will fail some tests just because of. We need to be careful. That's really, like in fact, you need to test each other, and that reminds me. There's a book
I authored recently, some time ago. It's called 8 Things You Must Do in Your Courtship to have a successful marriage. I'm going to link it up somewhere around this video, maybe in the descriptions or in the pinned comments. And so, just go check out the book and get it. It talks about what you should do in courtship. One of the things is, and that book is it's a practical book because a lot of the things that you find there, they are not things that maybe we thought maybe they are practical things that I did with her, those days, things that I did. And of course, what are the, how do you prove if something works? Is the results. 14 years down the line, by God's grace, I want to believe we didn't make a mistake. We didn't make a mistake. So 14 years down the line, by God's grace, we are moving up. So what is in that book talks about tests. And you need to test your spouse. You need to find out what is in his or her mind. You need to find out. And if after you carry out those tests, you find out that he or she is not passing the tests, and those things are really critical, then you need to decide that I think I need to.
Can you still go on with it or?
Can you go on? Can I go on? Or maybe I need to
those tests.
Yeah.
Are they things that you need to communicate with her, let her know, let her understand? Sometimes.
Yes. You might need to communicate.
Yes. Sometimes maybe she may need
and
to
if she doesn't accept, or she doesn't accept, you now know that this person is.
This is not a no-go area for
this person,
me.
I can't go ahead. But if the person says, I didn't know, and
I'm sorry, and maybe she's ready to change or whatever.
Why not?
I can see a genuine change, or genuinely learning or relearning, because this life is all about learning,
of course,
relearning, unlearning a lot of things. After, so you understand. So if you see that this person is ready to learn, and go along with your goals or whatever, then you can still go ahead. But if not, that may be a red flag for you to rethink.
Move on. To move on. Okay. Good one. Now, how many relationships were you in before you met each other?
Practically, I can say none really.
So
there's no.
Do you have any boyfriends?
I don't really have any boyfriend.
Do you have any lover?
I don't have any lover, but I only have friends. I have male friends.
Normal friends.
I have female friends. I have friends that can come to my house.
Bestie guys.
No, I don't.
I like what they do now. All the bestie. See,
I have friends. I cannot say then there was nothing like best friend. I have friends that I can say that this person is my friend. I can talk to. He can visit me. He can come to my house. I can visit him or no. So I have friends like that, but not a lover, not a boyfriend in the time of. So there's no one that I've said yes to. If there was nobody. So that's it.
Except me.
Except you.
Okay, so on my part too, I didn't have any girlfriends. Well, by God's grace, I grew up. Aside from school, when I was in secondary school, when I was not a Christian, but after secondary school, I became a Christian, and I was quite very young then. So, of course, becoming a Christian, all we knew was just brothers and sisters in church that we grew up together as teenagers and things like that. So, those were my friends. I never had any steady girlfriend. This is my first steady, not even girlfriend, fiancé. So I never had any steady girlfriend out there. So no lady can come tomorrow and say, he was my ex. We didn't have any ex.
There was no ex.
We don't have any exes.
There was no Y, there was no Z.
Some of you who are affected by ex, or ex is disturbing you.
No.
For us, but that's why I encourage people. It's always good to just live life clean, live life smoothly. Put exes will not help you. I can assure you of that. Will not help you. You can sleep. You can sleep free, not thinking that then somebody will come tomorrow and say, blackmail you or stuff like that.
I have your nude pictures.
I have your nude pictures. Like what happens these days? During that time, that wasn't happening. Anyway, thank God for that. So another question is asking, how did you both know you have found the one? How did you both know that? Okay, how did you know that I'm the one? Or is it that you just say, well,
let me test
let me
this
just
one,
test it, let me just try, even up to the wedding day.
No.
You say, let me just test. Or
No.
you felt that,
There
how are you
was-
sure that you, what are you
Yeah,
things?
that's one thing. That is why it is necessary for one to have a good relationship with
Yeah.
God. And I think that was one of the things that helped me. You know, as I was praying, there are verses of the scripture that God used to make confirmation. I can't really
Bible.
yes.
God
yes,
use Bible.
Yes, that's you
Okay.
know, there are times that you'll be reading the
Spiritual
word.
sister.
No, it's not about being spiritual. There are times that you'll be reading Bible and something
Yeah.
will just highlight to you that as if you know, sometimes you may be asking question in your mind and something will just highlight on a scripture that you say, yes, this is the word, and it will kind of answer the question that you are having. So you understand? In that aspect, I could say that I have those kind of experience at that time before I could say yes, because marriage for me, it was a very big issue for me. As at that time, it was a very big issue. It's not something that I want to just make mistake. You know, at that time, I was already like, I know it is not by force. It is not a compulsory to be married. I have seen people, I have seen marriages, I've seen situations. So I wasn't going to just get into it just because I want to just I need to get married. No, I wanted to be sure, and that's why it took me so long, like you said. But I want to be sure that if I'm going to say yes,
3 months.
I will know that yes, it is yes.
Yeah.
And I wasn't just keeping you on note, you know.
Yeah,
not that I was praying. I was really
Yeah.
praying, seeking God's face. I wanted to be sure that when I give you, and I can say 14 years. I mean, let's say it's more than 14 years now. 16 years down the line, I say that I did not make mistake. You understand? When I was telling you yes at that time,
You were sure.
I have seen everything. I have seen the things that I needed to see.
We are not done courtship yet.
Yes, I know. I've seen the things that needed to be seen, and I could say that yes, I know that God gave me words. God has given me words that I can say yes. This is God telling me that this is the way.
Yeah.
Do you understand? In fact, I can say that I was so sure that it was God that said yes, this is the way. There are situations. I could remember there was a particular time. You know, I was comparing you with that other guy, that guy that I was talking to, that guy that was in my business place. You know, I was comparing with that guy. I was like, this person is tall, you know, and it was as if God was telling me that, would you rather have a man that is tall, handsome, dark, that will be beating you, or somebody that is younger? You know, it was kind of older. You understand? It was kind of elderly.
For you ladies that are looking for older men.
And it was as if God, this morning, I don't know what.
You can marry your mate too.
This morning, I don't know what I was thinking. That I remember that question, that would you rather have somebody that is older than me, you know? We all want, I want somebody that would be like a zaddy, that they used to call, you know, a sugar daddy or whatever, that would be beating you. Or somebody that is younger, that you can actually enjoy life with. And I think at that time I chose that part, that one. So I can say that it was God. I had some communication and I was so certain that it was God that led me in this part.
Yeah. Well, for me, I will say, I will not say, how I determine that you are the one. Not necessarily by scriptures. You use scripture, but I like I said, I mentioned those tests. Sorry, I mentioned those tests. You know, and I believe that those tests were divinely inspired. God inspired me to, you know. I think I still have that diary somewhere. One small diary. That diary I used to put the ATM cards.
Okay.
The diary, you know, it's the powder, the diary itself.
Okay.
And that's why I use one small diary. I will know those questions. I will write them. I say, okay, if I ask her this, she'll be able to tell me. I mean, the purpose, the purpose of asking this question is to confirm some things which I'm thinking that okay, this will prove that she is just like how what's his name, Eliezer, Abraham's servant, and I said okay, if I get to the well and I ask this lady this, and if I ask her to give me water and she gives me water and also fetches water from my camel, you know, that kind of thing, so. Which I feel is correct. So that was what, of course. So in relating with you,
I need to know those questions so I can see my response.
Yeah, well,
but I can see whether
but I know that I still plan to do maybe like a PDF guide or something that talks about those, because people really need to, you know, dig deep. You understand? Like, I realize that a lot of people in courtship, they are not really digging.
They're just only on the surface.
Yeah, they're just on the surface.
They just
You
know
need
it
to
all.
dig
And
deep.
that's why when you get
So
into,
watch out
that's
for
why
that.
when you now get into the relationship,
Yeah.
marriage, you now see some
things that you
and
never
it should
saw.
be as if it is a surprise.
Yes, like
because
so
you were
much
not,
surprise.
you were not
Yeah, you
really,
really dig deep. Yeah.
just like you used to say them, that Pastor Bimbo of late memory used to say that courtship is a time of interview,
not intercourse. Yes,
yes.
Interview. Yes. So yes. So so watch out. Watch out for that PDF or guide. Watch out. Follow me or subscribe to my channel. Follow me depending on where you're watching this. Watch out for it. I'm gonna put it together and and it's gonna help a lot of people. So on my that's how I as I began to ask you those questions, meeting you in your shop, and so mostly in your shop, not in the house. We met in the house sometimes, but mostly in your shop, and also we did the night call.
Yes.
So I began to confirm that yes, this based on your response to my questions. I remember I asked you about a question about in-law. How you relate with mother and with family. I asked you a question kind of tricky, and you answer. And you answer, in fact, you answer prove that this lady is not going to have any problem with mother-in-law or sister-in-law, and you prove. Up to you today, after 14 years, you never had any quarrel with any of my family members.
My mother-in-law, very fantastic mother.
Never had.
And my sister-in-law, all my in-laws.
So they've really proved. You really proved that, and I knew that was not wrong. Yeah, so that's how I knew she was the one. Yeah. Okay, next one. What vision did you have for your marriage during your courtship? So let me actually start with that.
Okay.
Look at this camera. What vision did I have for my marriage during my courtship? Now I let me give a kind of background. I came from a very turbulent home. A home where my parents they're always fighting each other, In fact, I can't forget those days, me and my siblings, if my parents stay for like 2 weeks without having a altercation or fighting, we'll say, thank God, praise God, what happened? That 2 weeks has passed and there's no altercation in the house. So that was the kind of home I came from. We were always settling, and we were always trying to restrain father or mother, my stepdad actually. My stepdad and this one we restrain, this one we restrain. That's the kind of home I grew up in. So I decided that I don't want to have that kind of home when I get married. Of course, and for that vision or desire or dream to come to pass, they say in marriage it takes two to what? Tango. And I knew that I have to find a woman that has a similar vision. So we are trying to answer the question that what vision. So the vision I had for my home, number one, is a home that is opposite of the home I came from. That's number one. Yeah, whatever it is, whatever was happening in the home that I came from, the altercations, the disagreements, the fighting, the beating up of my mother, and all those things, I said no. I don't want to have a home where I'll be beating my wife. I don't want to have a home where I'll be hurling abuses or my wife will be hurling abuses at me. I don't want to have a home where children will be mistreated or things like that. Those kind of things. In a nutshell, I didn't want to have a home like the home I came from. So, and that's where some of the things, those are the visions I had while we were in courtship, and I shared with her, and we talked about it. And those were also the things that guided our discussions and the things we have to discuss and resolve. Because, there are some things. Actually, let me tell you the fact that there are some things that that need to be discussed. Because if they are not discussed, they will surely come up in the marriage, and they will create crisis. They will create crisis, and that's why I say, pick up that. It's important for you to pick up that book. Those 8 things you must do within your courtship to have a good marriage. It's very, very. I mentioned some of those things. I mentioned those things in that book. So that's the kind of vision I had. I don't know if you have anything other thing to add.
No.
Besides what else?
No. I just wanted a home that will be peaceful.
Yeah.
Loving. A home that you will know that you can. It will be so full of love.
Yeah.
Quite unlike I grew up in a polygamous family
But not as troublesome.
But my
as
family, it was a loving.
Yes.
In fact, people around us hardly know who is who.
Whereas my own home was a monogamous home, but a lot of fight and
so I actually wanted a home like that you are free, you can enter into anybody's room, call this, talk and gist, and that's the kind of life that's the way we were brought up. That's what I grew up. So I wanted a home that will be like it will be like heaven on earth. So to say, and we pray that prayer that God want our marriage to be like heaven on earth. So that's the kind of vision I have for a marriage. I remember when I was young, I used to say it. There is one song I used to sing then. But can I remember? Is it Promise Couple? No, it's about praying about this home. God give us a good home, things like that. I have a particular selection that when I'm singing the song, it's as if I'm making declaration about my home. It talks about as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. So. In fact, when I'm singing, I can sing the album from beginning to the end. Even without, I can sing it. I know it very well. So I used to play that song very well. There's a part that the husband will sing, the wife will join, the children will join. So I was looking forward to having that kind of a home. That we all love to get God together, we serve God together. In that kind of home, there will be peace, there will be love, joy. Things will not be. You understand? There won't be restriction. That's the kind of home that I always look forward to, and that's my vision for my marriage. As at then, and up to now.
By God's grace, that vision is coming to pass.
Amen.
It's coming to
Amen.
pass. It's come to pass. It's coming to pass. By God's grace. So, okay, the next question says, looking back, I think we touched on some of these things. Looking back, what are some things you think you did in your courtship that made your marriage successful? Looking back, what are some things you do?
Let me share some.
Okay.
For me, I think counseling is very, very important.
In courtship.
In courtship. Counseling is very important. I remember.
Very important.
I remember.
Very important.
There was this Bisi Adewale teachings that they were having their programming at Isolo, somewhere in Isolo.
We used to
that
go.
There is a course. There's some courses there. So I think those kind of things are very, very important. Thank God for my own pastor too. Who are marriage counselors, Reverend and Reverend of blessed memory. Those ones too. Their teachings. In fact, when I was growing up, I remember those days where I was, even as a teenager, anytime they were talking about marriages, marriage seminar, that's what they use, conferences, marriage seminar, that's what they used to call it then. I'm always eager to be in those kind of settings. I'm always eager to, even in school there. In fact, whenever we're having, when I was in university, when they're having program and they're saying there's going to be some kind of breakout, I will always look forward to going to marriage, those ones that will talk about marriages. Anywhere they are talking about, I want to learn. I want to learn because there's no one that knows it all. There's no perfect person, so you need to learn. So for me, those kind of teachings are the things that really prepared me and helped me in what we are faced to a lot of things. I can remember one of the counsel that my pastor taught us that time. Taught us that time. I can't forget talking about somewhere in the gospel of Jesus Christ when he was talking about the wise one that built his house on the rock and the foolish man that built his own on the sand. He said something that I can't forget. He said, the two of them separately did what they want to do, but the same condition happened to them. Storms for the same condition. The way the same thing that happened to the one that. But what now happened? It's what will determine whether your house will still be standing. Is the kind of foundation that you gave it. Is the kind of material that you use. It's not because the storm that will come is greater than the ones that come to this one. And he said that the same problem that your marriage will face is the same problem every marriages are facing. But people don't know. Sometimes people think that
it is the foundation.
People think that their own problem is more than what every other point. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
The outcome.
Yes, but the outcome, the result, whether your marriage will still be standing, it will be as a result of whether you have built your house on a rock or the sand.
So important from what you are saying. Importantly, please take note. Get knowledge. Get knowledge. Very important. Get knowledge even while you are cutting. You understand? Get knowledge. I talked about that one. Important. Get information. Get knowledge about marriage. Don't just think that some people they just go because maybe in their churches ask them to do what they call marriage counseling. They say no, we are not doing. And the church says that you have to do marriage counseling before you can wed the church. They say, oh no. They go to marriage. Church. No, not even another church. They go to Ikoyi registry or wherever and the registry. Just go and tie the knot and say maybe they will come and pray for us.
You will meet it
to hell with the church.
Yes.
No, those things, those kind of marriage counseling,
they are very important,
very critical.
Very important.
In fact, I mentioned it in that my. We still go back to that my book. I mentioned it. I said one of the things you must do in courtship is you must go for premarital counseling. Don't ever make light of it
at all. Honestly,
it is a big mistake.
Yeah.
Because there are things like someone, one comedian, this Danusa guy, he used to talk about Jackpa or whatever. He say waiting you don't know pass you.
Yes.
They used to say waiting you don't know it pass you. Once there's something that you don't know, that will not pass you.
Yes.
You understand? That will not pass you. So you need to, if you don't know something, you can't. They say you can't give what you don't have. If you are not equipped with knowledge about marriage, don't think that you will succeed in marriage. It's a mirage. It's going to be a mirage. It's a fallacy. So it's very important. So aside from knowledge, we also asked questions. We discussed. Like I've said, because the question is asking what are the things that you did in courtship that made your marriage successful. If you feel it's successful, a lot of things we ironed out. Ask questions. We ironed out a lot of gray areas, things that could cause problems later in the future.
Yes.
Something that you feel that this one I can't take this one. I mean, I don't think I will be able to live with this.
In that area, there's need for us each person to be sincere.
Yes.
Sometimes people can pretend and hide.
Because
when they ask questions just because you want to save face or whatever, you won't get a good result. Whatever you will keep pretending about, when you get there, you will continue to
No, you can't pretend. You will show yourself. And when you show yourself, problem will start.
So, in fact, some people, whatever you pretend that you enjoy, you can enjoy. You enjoy that you are not enjoying. When you continue there, you must continue to enjoy it.
You will not. That's why marriage is break up.
And no, that's what you are. For you to save that marriage, you must continue to enjoy. You remember somebody that we asked that he said during their courtship, he saw that the
he was committing fornication with another girl.
And you went ahead and go ahead with
you caught the guy with a girl. Not that they told you.
You caught
the guy with a girl.
And you went ahead and now when you are not in the marriage, you are not experiencing the same thing.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years after.
You are complaining.
The man is now flirting around and you are complaining.
You must continue to.
You saw it.
Yeah, because you are not sincere with yourself. But if you are sincere with yourself, what you don't want, you discuss it. If you cannot go with it, if you cannot enjoy it, if you cannot tolerate it, it's better you cut it off.
Yeah, sure.
Sincerity is very important.
Yeah, very important.
And that's
even when you're asking questions.
Yes.
Be
sincere.
Like I said,
don't pretend.
that book, get it. check it. There are things you should discuss. When you are discussing those things, be sincere. Let your spouse know needs to be sincere. Because if you are not sincere, you would have wasted your time. You would have wasted the effort. Because if you say, let me just adjust or say, give an answer that will make that will make the sleeping dogs lie. No, you at the end of the day, you will miss that thing because the person, your spouse, will tell you that we talked about this thing. We asked this question. Why are you, for example, if your spouse asks you, like I asked you, that what's your mind about Japan? I want to stay in Nigeria. You say I don't. Okay, I will stay in Nigeria.
And
when after a year after marriage, you now say I want to Japan. What the person will say? Did you not talk about Japan? If you said
at that time
you were just trying to
because you want to get married, you want to quickly get married.
You were not sincere.
You are saying yes.
So that's what in the mind of your spouse, you were being sincere. You were being you were being deceptive.
Yes.
You were being deceptive, and I tell you, once your spouse begins to see that you are deceptive, the trust is lost. The trust in the home, and once trust is no more there, then that's where problem. It's like a rabbit hole that you keep on going and you won't come out of it. Okay, we said a lot of that one. Now another question, but it's similar to what we were saying: is courtship before marriage really necessary, and why? We have said it now. I think we have said it.
Let me say it again.
Just say it.
Courtship before marriage is very, very necessary.
Yeah.
It's very, very necessary.
Yeah,
Just like some pastors that we know, we say,
yeah.
if you want to buy a car, you want to test it.
Yes.
You want to know whether this car can, you know.
Yeah.
In fact, some people,
drive the car.
I remember the first time my husband wanted to go and buy our first car.
Yeah.
You search, hey.
I went online.
You went online. Read. I was like, I say, what is this? On top of what? You know how many months my husband spent looking,
that's me. I don't like to enter something. But I don't like. I want to enter something.
The way you call people, call mechanic, call the person that wanted to help you to buy. I was like, are you not disturbing these people? On top of what? If you want to buy, just go there and see the thing. But
no, it's not like that.
No, so if you could go to such an extent just because of a car, how much more
marriage,
a human being?
In fact,
there are some things that you may not be able to test in a human being, but if you trust God to lead you, God will reveal things to you, and you know some things. So, and also, there's a part in the Bible that says that if you want to build a house, talking about your profession, curious, you will sit down, count the cost. Okay,
look for
count the cost. How is it going to be? Is this worth it? Is this thing? So for me, marriage is not something that you should just go into. Like they used to say, and like they told us in that time now, it's the only institution that you get the certificate the first day before you understand. So the only thing that can make you, nobody has gone through the path before, unless maybe people that have gone and divorced or whatever. But there's no marriage that is the same.
No, of course.
Even a person that is divorced, if you are going to marry another person, it should be a different thing entirely. Because no human being are the same. She understands. So if you are going to marry somebody, once you get the certificate, the only way that can help you to be able to endure this thing is if you have gone through courtship. You have learned to know each other.
Of course.
Courtship is very, very important.
Okay. So the next question: how long did your courtship last before the wedding? I'll just answer that. It lasted a year and 9 months. And it was that long because, just like we have been saying, I made it a point of duty to find out a lot of things about. I wanted to find out before we even start talking about wedding, because one thing you should understand, and this is a fact too. I can tell you, for those of you who are not married, once you start talking about wedding or planning about wedding, forget. You will not discuss about your home or your vision or your future. You will not. I can tell you from practical experience.
And that kind of things. So most times, once you start preparing for marriage, for the wedding, you will kind of be so much under pressure.
Yes, you will not talk about the future. The future
you'll be so pressure. By the time you start selling Ashwebi, even when you see a red flag, to say we don't want again, those kind. So you understand. So to say, when you see a red flag, because you have already given out invitation, you have given out Ashwebi, to not say that no again, it's kind of, if you are not a strong-hearted person, you won't be able to do it. So you will just be pressure. You know that what you are entering into is not something you should enter into if you are not strong. So it's better you give it time. Long courtship should not be so long.
It should not be so long. But it should not be too short.
It should not be too short.
That's why people say.
Like people, they say at least a minimum of 6 months. But when you are cutting, that 6 months is not for preparation for wedding. It will not involve
for courtship.
For courtship, that some churches will say you have to go through some classes. That you will thoroughly know each other, at least to an extent. That you can say, if you close your eyes, if you hear the voice of this person, this is the person that is talking.
So that's the reason why our courtship lasted that long, because we actually had a discussion for quite over 1 year. We actually talk about our future, our visions.
At that time, we are friends,
where we are going.
At a point, I had to visit his house.
Of
to
course.
go and see for some things, or know how serious is this brother. But then when I was going there, I didn't go alone. Because of the teachings that we have had. Yes, because of the teachings that we have had, I had to go with one of my cousins.
Actually, whether you went or me, I was not going to do anything.
Of course, no. But I won't want you to.
Yes, you have to be careful.
Yes, I won't want to make you to feeling awkward or something. You understand? So it will just be because I know you are not living with you. You are not living with your parents at that time. So I won't want you to feel awkward. So and I won't want to feel awkward too. That's why I had to come with my cousin.
Sisters, if you are going to visit your fiance Your fiance, yes. We're going to visit your fiance. Carry your friend or carry your sister, follow body, or cousin. You came with your cousin now. Carry your sister or your cousin or your friend, follow body. Don't say, my fiance is a gym person. He used to scabash a lot in our church. So Holy Spirit is in control of him. And me too. I'm Sister Jesus. Or Sister Jesus and Sister Mary. Holy Spirit is in control of me. Nothing could happen. No.
Things can happen.
Things can happen. So as you go,
don't tempt yourself. And don't tempt God. Like the Bible says, you should not tempt God. You should not put yourself in a situation whereby you have to be smart.
Yeah, carry person for nobody. It's just a 2 cents. Okay, yes. Now we want to go into the core matter. What were the biggest adjustments you had to make in the first years of marriage? That one a general question.
Can you answer that?
The biggest adjustments. Well, for me, being a bachelor is completely different from being a married man. So of course I had to make that adjustment of you cannot just go out. You can't just go out and come back whenever you want to come back.
Yeah.
You understand? Somebody's going to call you. If by 7 o'clock you have not come back home, either you went to work or it's not work, or you went wherever. You went to see a friend or wherever, or you went for emergency. Maybe you went for emergency. As you are a spiritual boy, you went for emergency. Once it's 7 o'clock, someone will call you. But if you are a bachelor on your own, nobody sends you. If you like enter your house 11 o'clock, nobody go send you.
Yeah.
But so of course one had to I had to make that adjustment of okay, now somebody is I need to somebody's at home. I'm responsible to somebody, and somebody is responsible to me.
Yes.
You understand? So I can't just be here. I can't just leave. Even at sometimes you're at work, maybe you say, there's a lot of work. I have some overflow, some leftover work. Let me just stay in the office and work. No. Once you are married, if you could do that when you were a bachelor, once you are married, you need to get back home and go and meet madam. That is the truth of the matter. So that's why some of the, then of course, the other one for me is, when we are at home, you understand? When I was on my own, I could watch anything I want to. Remember now, those early years? I want to watch DSTV. I want to watch Champions League. Then they used to do Champions League. I think they still do it. They used to do Champions League on Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday and Wednesday.
I want to watch my series.
8 p.m. You want to watch Telemundo. We will fight. We will not fight physical fight. By the grace of God, we are not. We have not had.
Let me watch my own now.
But it was a tug of war.
That was well managed at that time.
Yeah, but we God help us.
Yes.
It didn't turn into a
because that wasn't so.
It didn't turn into a fight.
Yes.
Like it didn't turn into a.
We had to compromise at some junctions.
But it was
a conflict.
It was a conflict.
If it wasn't well managed,
it would have become a serious thing. And
at that time, yes.
I tell you, for many couples, those things have broken.
Even money too,
Yes.
Now you have a responsibility.
Yes.
You have to drop money in the house and things. So
things like
there are so many adjustments.
So for me, I had to make it that okay. Look, now it's no more. You're no longer on your own.
Yes.
That you can watch anything you want to watch at any time. Somebody else is there and you don't have 2 TVs.
Yes.
You only have one. You understand? So somebody else also wants to watch the TV. So sometimes when Champions League is happening, she wants to watch Telemundo at 8 p.m. Wow, we have to wait until Telemundo finishes. And by the time Telemundo finishes by 8:30 or 9 p.m. The match is already. The match is already half time has gone. They're already in half time. The first half has finished. So a lot of times I will have to forgo first half of those Champions League matches. And so it was really tough then. And like you said, we had a lot of, but thank God we had to adjust.
Yes.
We had to adjust.
Yes.
So there's one you should mention, but maybe you have not. Let me hear whether you mention.
Which one?
No, carry on.
So for me, now at that the earlier years of the marriage, You have to learn that you are responsible now. You have to cook. You have to clean the house. You have to make the house in a good shape. Things like that. You have to take care of things. Something that probably when I was at home, I have my cousins, my younger ones that I can say do this one. They will cook, or I can say I want to go and do this. Things on my own. But now I'm responsible, and it's something that I was willing to take serious at that time, and I think I did. Taking care of the house, managing things, managing resources, and then I had to change my route, because when I was in the shop then as at that earlier age, normally once I finish mushing, pass this way, but my route has to change. Now I had to go to Oshodi, go to another way before I get home. So I have had people saying that sometimes they left their offices and went back to their parents' house, forgetting that they are married.
That they are not married. Can you imagine?
But I never had such an experience. I never had such an experience. I know that I was married, so from my office I went straight to the house, and I know that I had to, sometimes the things that probably because I wanted to stay long, but because I just like you said, I have home, I have responsibility at home. I must leave the place on time so that I can get to the house and do the necessary things. I don't know what else you.
Yeah, you didn't talk about the issue of eating together.
Okay.
We first started. When we the first weeks and months of the marriage, my wife will when in the evening we want to eat, especially evenings, she will cook food, and if I'm not around, she will wait for me to come before she eats. She will not eat. She will wait for me to come so that we can both eat. We're eating from the same plate. Remember that? You can't remember. We're eating from the same plate, But what happened was that as time went on, because of my kind of work, it was shortly after, it was about a year, not a year now, after we married, 6 months or so that I resigned. Okay, 6 months after we married, I resigned my job and became self-employed. So now, because of my work, of course, I had clients that I need to deliver jobs to. So I'm naturally, well, let me say naturally, as I began to grow older, I noticed that if I eat like 8, 9, I will just sleep off. And I won't be able to do anything.
May not eat until 1 o'clock, 1 a.m.
Yeah, so so now that now began to affect. Now she wants us to eat together. And if I eat, okay, let's eat together. I will just sleep off. And then the deadline I'm supposed to meet, I won't be able to meet it. So I now began to say, okay, you eat. I will eat later.
There are so many things that would have made us to start eating separately. For instance, now I can eat something that is hot. I eat fast. But my husband is a slow eater and doesn't eat things that are hot. That you understand. So that one alone too will separate the timing that we eat. So these are some of the things that we had to adjust, and those kind of teachings that we got during the courtship, that sometimes you need to be intentional but there are things that you may just have to adjust. As you are living each day, you'll be learning the things that will work for you. Sometimes some things that you have learned may not really work for you. Some things that you have seen in your parents' marriage may not really work for you, but you need to find out the things that will work for you so that you can implement it in your own.
Just like what Pastor Fumi said about Pastor Tokes, that I don't know, in that
she took her time to make pounded jam.
That Eba, it was what when she growing up, Eba was what they used to give to driver to eat. Pandejam was for
the husband is from Lagos,
but the husband was from Lagos, and one of our pastors, her husband was from Lagos. Her husband said, "Look, I don't want Pandejam. I want Eba." So that was like a shock to her, but she had to adjust. So adjustment is critical in marriage.
And know each other and adjust. So it's very, very important.
So I want to, before we go on, please like this video, subscribe to our channel or follow my page
and share. If you
have learned a lot from this and you know that there's somebody else that should learn from this, please share to them. It's going to help them, and it's also going to help the video perform well. Okay, so now how did you resolve disagreements without letting them escalate? We have talked about that now. How did you resolve, first of all, how do we resolve the disagreement without letting them escalate? of course, disagreements come, and we talk about the issue of the watching Telemundo versus football and things like that, and then but the thing is that once you know that, look, there is no, like someone said, like is it Pastor Midre the Coco that said, when you know that there's no
perfect.
There's no perfect marriage.
Okay,
there's
there's
no
way
exit
out.
door.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not that this lady is
If
not.
I'm tired of it,
This lady is not gelling. She's not doing. She's not. I'm not happy with her. Let me go somewhere else. When you know that this girl, one thing we agreed on before we married was that
there's no divorce.
No divorce. You say divorce is not an additional.
Yes.
So in other words, as we're entering this marriage,
you know
it's
that
like
we have to
make it work.
Anything that is not working, you must find a way.
If there are disagreements,
that work.
we do what do we do? We come back and resolve
it.
Resolve the disagreement.
And my husband is very good at that. Anytime there is any conflict or any issue, he will be the one that will say, I want to talk. Let's talk.
To you. Yes.
Let's talk. Life goes on.
So one person has to do that.
Yes.
Because if both parties say, I'm not going to talk, you go your own way, you go your own way, there will be the fact, the home way, the home way
just
cash.
be as if you are sweeping the debt.
Yes, it's like you are postponing the day of judgment, the evil day. So you need to, one or both person must take up the responsibility of saying, let us come and resolve this.
Yes.
There is disagreement, let us come and resolve it. And we've had quite a lot of disagreement. In fact, let me say this way. There was one, I don't know if you remember, when we were going to the island.
I can't forget.
And we were arguing at Randu that you say I should stop, you want to come down. This lady, she looked like Spirit Coco like this. I was surprised. She said, and we're just talking about something that we're just talking about something. Not about that, not what we did. I mean, I think I said something and she took it in a different way. No, different from what I intended. And she said she was so angry. She said, stop this guy, I want to come down. I said, why will you come down? Stop this guy. We were both going to the island though. We were going to different places on the island. I was going to drop her, we were going to the market. I think we were going to the market or something.
And I think we started, it's like we started living.
No, we're here now. We're living here
Yes.
now. We're living here. No, we're living here now. It's been a while. It's been like 7 years. 7 years, 7 years ago. So she I'm telling you, that's our marriage was even advanced at that time. We had even had two children.
Of course,
at that time, our 2 children had already come at that time. So she said, I want to come down. I said, why will you come down? Come down for where? I was able to douse the situation. We actually went to the island. I dropped her and went to where I was going. When we came back home, we resolved it. You understand? So somebody must always be there to say, look, let us resolve this thing. We can't. The Bible says that do not let this sun go down on your words. If you're angry, say be angry and sin not. Do not let the sun go down on your. These are biblical passages that.
And one thing in recent time, one thing that has been helping me in this kind of conflict is that I know that I am not perfect. So I don't expect perfection from the other person. If I'm expecting you to be perfect, that means I'm being injustice. I'm not being just. It's not right. So each time you do something that I feel that this person is not doing right, I look at myself that there must be some things I myself must have done. This person may not just talk about it that is not right. So for the fact, if anytime you know that I'm not a perfect human being, I can never be perfect. I know that I have my faults and they can be plenty. So if this person can tolerate me and be going along with me, let me just try and learn to tolerate him too in all of his own shortcomings. So these are things that has been helping me in recent time. Even in dealing with every other person, people outside, nobody is perfect. So if you are expecting perfection, if somebody do something that is not right and you are angry or whatever, what of your own? The ways in which ways you too have been, you have your limitations, and people are just enjoying with you, keeping quiet. So
okay. Okay, we have said how do you resolve your agreements. In what areas have you had? We mentioned them. I had strong disagreements. You have mentioned. We mentioned some of them in some little things. In some other area, like parenting, how to discipline children. We've had
different
ideologies, and some of those ideologies are based on
the way we were brought up,
personal
from our own house.
Let me say that we were kind of brought up in similar ways.
Well, I believe that for me, I was
our
like,
responses,
that kind of
our responses
the way
to
I was
what's being
brought up.
Yes.
I don't like the effect it had on me, and I don't want the similar effect on my children. So that's one of the reasons that we are advocating a different method.
Yeah,
and
so
we have different children, and he is insisting it must be the same way. No.
Yeah. So those are bringing up
children.
Then
also in terms of business or finances.
Yes, business.
Whatever.
For a while, for a long period of time, she was not. She had a business before, but when our second child came, she had to stop. But restarting that business, she said, "Oh, I'm still trying to think of what I want to do." But me, I just believe that just start something.
That was really.
So it really cost a lot of for a number of years. It was really a bone of contention within us.
That would cause a lot of arguments and this and that.
So it has not always been rosy, because sometimes you hear, maybe as you are listening, you say, this is as if everything is just. We've had some.
Our series of basbos.
Yes, but basbos not blow.
No.
I've never slapped. She's here. I've never slapped her. I've never cursed her. Have I cursed you before?
No,
neither has she abused me.
The same thing. I've never said a bad word.
For 14 years.
Most times, whenever we are having issue and we have disagreement, honestly, those are the times that I am always moved to pray for you more. I'm telling you. Wow. Those are the times. But anytime we have,
not tell me now.
I'm telling you. Now, I just noticed that anytime those things will just come as if I will be so much impressed in me that I should pray for you more. Those times. So those times I will be blessing you. I will just be speaking blessing that the Lord will lift you up. Especially in those times that we are having agreement. Because I most times it's as if I'm just saying myself that. If we have issue, if this is my fault and somebody is bad, that means for you to be tolerating me this far, I will just be blessing you and be praying that God will lift you up, God will bless the works of your hand, the Lord will open doors for you. So most times that's how it has always been for me. So there is no how that I can never be angry with you and be wishing you evil. No.
In fact, don't ever do that to your spouse.
No. I have never done it in my life, and I pray I will not do it again. No matter what. Because me, anytime I do this in every of my relationship, if somebody offended you, just one, can you remember the good things this person has done for you over the years? And just overlook a shortcomings. Do you understand? So, but most people is those shortcomings that you now aggravate, it will magnify it, and you forget all the good things this person has done for you. It's not right. So that's the way I do things.
Couples, singles, take note of that. Very important.
It's very important. I don't.
In fact, all these things we are talking about, you need to just take, because it's just like for those of you who are not married, it's like an eye opener. It's like somebody is trying to help you to see into the future. You understand? That's one of the reasons why we decided to do this video. And this almost series of videos we are doing on some other channels of mine, so that's just to let you know that look, marriage can succeed if you want to. Okay, so now no, just have some like 4 or 5 minutes. Okay. What mistakes have you made in your marriage? What mistakes? What are the things that we should have done better and we didn't? I think
I can say one of most mistake.
Okay.
It's about money.
Okay, yes.
Finances.
Planning, financial planning.
We are not really.
Yes. Yeah, we didn't start that financial planning. We didn't get to know. We didn't get to know it.
Not that we don't. Not that I don't know. Okay. Because I know while I was growing up, we know that we have. My father taught us how to invest money, how to show. But when we got into marriage, it's just as if we are free. They're just spending money anyhow, which wasn't good. At that time, you don't know. And sometimes we have a lot of money and we just, before you know it, and that is one big thing. I wish we could have learned earlier. all the financial teachings that we are not getting now. I wish I had learned it earlier. I remember there was one investment that we went to do, anyways, whatever. That if you had, in fact, thank God for somebody that just told us that we should just stop it at that. That we should not. We should not.
But anyway,
do it again.
The key thing in life is that if you make mistakes, you learn from
Once
them.
You don't repeat them.
You don't
repeat them. Your feet
when
back and
things come, when opportunities to make that mistake come up again,
you don't do it. So I think one of our greatest mistakes, and I believe that if we have learned so much about finances, we will have gone far in our finances, and that is one major thing. And I pray that God will help us.
Lack of financial planning. Then I think we have said it. the issue about being divided, about business,
yes.
about
in fact, that division is
about
very,
parenting.
in fact, it was one of the things that also affected our delay us in terms of pregnancy. The issue of division, because I have my opinion that, as a child of God, I have my opinion on things to take on what on what to do. Yeah. And my husband has different opinions. So and these ideas were kind of conflicting, and once devil see that there is division,
once there's division in your midst,
devil is a bastard. Once devil see that there is a division in between couples, he will pounce on that opportunity, and that's one of the things he used to cause our delay in childbearing. Those things. So, and at a point when I realized that this thing is causing it, we now come together. Let's make a plan. And
let's first of all, you acknowledge or you recognize that this is the problem. Division.
How can we help ourselves? Sometimes if we still stay in the same things, if we are still together, we will still be having the same thing, because so far this is the way I want to take it. This is the way I want to do this thing, and this is the way you feel that we should do this thing. So at that time, God gave us that plan, and He suggested, it was as if, and it was what really brought our deliverance.
Of course. Okay, since you touched on now, let me just ask this question. I jumped to one question. How did you deal with the pressure and delay in childbirth? How did you deal with the pressure and delay in childbirth? You want to talk?
Let's hear from you. Because
so how do we deal in of course, delay in childbirth is never an easy thing. Whether it is a year, 2 years, we actually were delayed for 4 years before we had our first child, and it's not that we didn't even have any child. I mean, we had 4 miscarriages, and some at advanced stage. One 6 months, one 5 months, and then the others much earlier. So it was a challenge. It was a problem. In fact, our matter in church became a prayer point. Once they say in church, let us pray for
those that are waiting on. We are kind of
those that who were singing. So at that period, who was there?
There was this.
Okay, but they had before. They had quite just a month. Okay. So it was really a challenge. When you are pregnant, then all of a sudden you lose the child. You are not in church for a while. Then there was this challenge of we'll go back to that church again, and then we say well, we thought you are going to give birth. Where is the child? It was sometimes we thought that maybe we should leave the church and go. Just leave the church and go to another church that they don't know, so that of course when you go to a church that they don't know you, nobody will know
your history,
what you've been through, So but eventually we still came back to the church. Eventually we had our 2 children in that same church. So it was a challenge, but one thing, to answer the question, one thing that how we tackled it was, we believe that, in fact, there was a time we told God, that both of us, we told God, say, God, it is you that will give us this child. If you don't give us this child, we will remain like that. Because people were suggesting to us, my own father told us that, told me that let's go and take there's some traditional, let's go the traditional way, some concoction that your wife will take, and then it has helped, it has solved this person in the family took it and it was solved, one uncle came and said, I'm going to introduce you to our prophets. Is of Celeste, childbirth, all these white garment churches. I want to introduce you to our apostle. We pray for you. Once you see him, your problem is solved. So there were a lot of pressures from here and there. Even we went to the doctor at the time. The doctor said, you should come and pay 350,000 also for some treatment. For test and treatment and in fact. That day, after we left that doctor, we went to church and we went to pray to God. Say, God, from the hospital, we went to the church. We say, God,
no, we are not.
It's not that we didn't have that money or we could not raise that money. We could raise that money even at that time because financially we're not that bad, But we said, children. God gives even people that don't need children. They have children. God gives them children. So if we who need children, those people that don't need children, God gives them without them paying a dime for it. why will we pay a dime? Why will we pay 300 and something thousand naira for a child? And that's so we made that commitment to God and say, God, oh, is either you give us this child or nothing else. So we are resolute. We get on praying, doing what we need to do. When we need to have sex, we have sex, and those things. And so that, in a nutshell, of course, 4 years is a long time to explain. But in a nutshell,
and at a point, God gave us an idea of what to do, and we did what was impressed upon our hearts, and we have our solution. That was when we decided that we should go to Abuja.
Yes. When she took in, that was in 2014, late 2014, she took in. So we now agreed that okay, we would rather than her staying in Lagos where we're based, she just go to Abuja where her siblings some of her siblings are there. She just go there and like rest, so that rest and like God's will give her. And actually that's what happened. My daughter was born in Abuja, and so that was so we, all those people who suggested to us that, oh, come and do this, come and do that. Imagine when our daughter was born, we called them and say, look, our daughter has been born, so no need for your solution. So in a nutshell, we were resolute that God, you are the one. God that we do. So if you are there watching us and you're having some delays in childbirth or delays in marriage, maybe not finding a spouse, just hold fast to God. That's the long and short you can say.
For me, one of the things that kept me is the word of God. Is the word of God. At a point when I was having those miscarriages, in fact, my sister was like, you are very strong, but the way I relate with God, I pray. If I'm feeling somehow, I pray. Eventually, if the thing comes out, I just stand up and say, this one is not my own. It has gone. I don't need people to come and be consoling me. Those are the worst. I don't like it at all. Like people say, I don't like it. And in fact, most times I don't want people to know, but there's no how people will not know, because they have seen you being pregnant for like your tummy is already like 6 months, and all of a sudden things comes out. So they will definitely know. There was a particular day I was in church, and one of our women leader just came and see the way I was crying. I don't usually cry at those moments, but the way I was crying, I don't like people telling me sorry. So be consoling me. I just stand up and be strong and say, God, this is gone, another one is coming, and I trust God. And as I kept on with the word of God, I remember sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, go to the other room, and just be worshiping God, just be praying, just be worshiping God. I just know that there's no how I'm going to have it. I know that I was so certain. I don't know how it's going to be. And thank God for some people. That remember, it was even in the church that somebody gave me a book, Supernatural Childbirth. In fact, when I got that book, when I saw, they wrap it for me and give you. When I opened, I saw. I said, yes. It's as if this is it. This is it. I was like, yes. And that book really helped me. And I started eating the word of God. Started reading the book, and I started confessing it, and I started holding on to what God said. No. The thing that they said I should come and do at the hospital, I said, no, I'm not going to do it. And eventually I didn't do it. And I was able to count my pregnancy to it. In fact, it was even due.
I know, what you call it, no CS.
No, I had my natural. In fact, everything was it just went on smooth. And at the end of the day, in fact, the day I was supposed to, the day I went for the last antenatal, the doctor that saw me, there are so many other things along this pregnancy thing, so that one will be for. It will be another. It will be for another one. But I remember the doctor that saw me the last day I went for my antenatal. When he looked at my K5 case, he went behind, went back. I said, you are now 40 weeks plus. I say yes, and you're not feeling anything. I said, I'm not feeling anything. I said, you're supposed to be feeling it. Okay. You said that if I don't feel anything between today and tomorrow, then I'll be induced. Of course, I don't know what is the meaning of induction. I said I'll be induced. So the man now wrote in his file, he said that means that all the things they wrote about you, that your service is incompetent. That means that it is a lie, He said that is it. And that was the second day. When I got home that day, I started praying, Father, Lord, the pregnancy is now due. This is the time that I should. It's now time for me to deliver. So the next day, everybody has gone to work, I was praying, I was doing the normal house chore, cleaning the house when everybody has gone. All of a sudden, I just started feeling the pain. I just called my
the child
sister.
came.
Yes, and
Yeah.
that was it.
Thank God,
And it
thank
was-
God for
that
that.
was
Thank God
it.
for that testimony. So
Yes.
your testimony will come by God's grace.
Amen.
Just believe it.
Amen.
Trust God.
Amen.
Yeah. So let's just try and wrap up now. How have you kept your romance alive after over a decade together? How have you kept our romance alive?
Got that answer.
I should answer.
I mean,
Well, we try. Of course, nobody can claim to be perfect in in being romantic. But I, on my part, as the guy, I try. They say that most men are not romantic. That's what they say. But
but my husband is
I'm
over
kind of
romantic.
I'm kind of different in that aspect, because I know that
This spiritual brother, you can imagine.
romance is something that keeps a home.
Yeah.
It keeps a marriage. And so over the years, I've done my best to show my love, be romantic to her.
I give it to you. I give it to you.
So we ensure that we do that.
In fact,
so that
even up to now, my husband is still kind of, chasing after me.
Yes.
And
doing those things that
yes.
we will do when we're courting.
Yes, he will still be chasing after me and be,
trying to hug you, trying to.
But me, we will be. They don't train us like that.
You're a spiritual sister, eh? But you need to be.
We are learning. We are learning. I'm learning. Yes, I'm still on the. I'm learning.
Work in progress.
Yes, I'm
so
working in progress.
it's been great. It's been great. Being romantic over the years has been great, So let me. I'm just trying to rush up now. Now, okay, what has kept you from messing up or from adultery over these years?
Within the marriage, or
no, within the marriage, of course. Have you ever come across anyone you admired, or what kept you from starting an affair with the person?
The fear of God, the fear of God, the fear of God. The way I see marriage for me is that whatever I do to this guy, I have God to account to.
Yes, sir.
It is unto God, and Bible confirm that whatever you do to these other people in my name, you do it to me. Yeah. So I see it. Anything I'm doing to my husband, it's not just him. It is God that I am dealing with.
Sure.
If I betray him, I'm betraying God.
Yes, and
no
vice
change.
versa.
So that's one thing that has helped me in my marriage. If it is God that I have answers to, it is God.
Yes.
For a while, there have not been anybody that can say that I am attracted to.
Yeah.
But recently, sometimes you will see some people, and this person is maybe this person especially he's a spiritual brother, he's Jim and this, but then you know that you already have your own.
Yes.
You don't go looking for something else that is not your own. Well, like I used to tell the devil sometimes, I said, devil, it's before that I used to steal, but now that I'm a child of God, I don't take things that doesn't belong to me.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I used to say that thing anytime that I'm feeling one sickness or one pain in my body. I said, devil, God has taken my own.
Yes.
When it comes to sickness and diseases,
yes.
I don't take things that doesn't belong to me. So don't give me any sickness again.
Sure.
So with that statement, I believe I have my own husband.
Yeah.
So I don't go looking for somebody else's husband.
Yeah.
I don't wish somebody else's husband is my husband.
Yeah.
Like they used to say, it's usually greener on the other side of knowledge your own. Face your own. And you will know that what you have is better. So that's has been helping me.
For me, one thing I say which is very important is that number one thing that will keep you from adultery. Marry somebody that you admire. I mean that attracts you. Some people have there's this school of thought, or some people say that if God, as far as God is leading you, just whether you are attracted to him or her or not, just go. No, you must be attracted to that person, because you are going to be with that person for the rest of your life, unless you are thinking of divorce one day. So if attraction is very, very important. So by God's grace, I was attracted to her before I married her, even while in the marriage, I'm still attracted to her. You understand? Whether her size has changed or not, I'm attracted to her. You understand? I'm attracted to her. So yes, sometimes you may see some ladies.
That really works for men, because men are the ones that are really controlled by what they see. You understand? For a woman, what we see, is what we hear that really affects us. So maybe.
Yeah. So the question is what kept you. I mean, of course, sometimes we see some ladies who are they are scintillating and whatever. But when you know that, look, like she said something, they say the grass is always greener on the other side, but until you get there before you realize that it's not greener. You understand? When you say look at the things, not just at being attractive now, but even the qualities, you understand? I've seen my wife is not the is not the beauty queen of the world, you understand? But there are some qualities in her that some so-called beautiful people out there that we might see and say, they do not have those qualities. You understand? Aside from physical appearance, I'm attracted to her physically. You understand? But she has some qualities that I have not seen in so many. I'm not saying it's not out there, but when you see some, so you need to. What I'm trying to say for you guys, especially for the men, look for those things. You need to amplify, emphasize or amplify those qualities, those good qualities in your spouse, and that's why you should look for a wife. For those who are not married, look for a wife that has not just outward physical beauty, has some intrinsic qualities, a good heart. You understand? Someone that is some good qualities from within. That's what will keep a marriage. I keep on saying it. That's what will keep a marriage. So that's my own answer to that. What role has faith played in a marriage? What role has faith in God played in our marriage success? It has played a lot of. In fact, without God, we can't be here.
Yes.
We can without the fear of God, without faith in God,
we can't even meet.
We cannot. We can't even meet.
There's no how we could have even met.
Most likely we will not have met.
It was providence. It was God that was directing us.
So faith plays, and I am saying to everyone that is watching this, I will watch this. Faith plays a major role in the success of any marriage. Take that from me. Okay, so let me ask you, will you marry me again if the clock were to wind back? If you were to wind back the clock?
Actually, yes, I can say yes.
Will you marry me again?
Yes.
Okay, me
yes,
too, yes.
Like they say, the devil is better than the saint you don't know. Okay. And a bird in hand, for you, so far, what I've known about
if you were to start again, will you marry?
Yes, if you are to start again.
Yes.
If you are to start again the same way, there's no how I will marry you, but we will do some things in different ways.
Yeah.
There's no how
I don't
have any regrets. Yes.
Things you have learned now, we'll do them better.
I don't have any regrets saying yes to
Same here. I don't have any regrets.
I don't think there's ever been a day that I've said that I made a mistake.
Yes.
I have never.
Yes. You know the question.
We are not perfect. He's not a perfect guy. He's not a perfect guy. There are so many. We all have our shortcomings. We all have our faults.
Yes.
But then. Yes. I think I prefer your faults, your shortcomings.
Yeah, of course. But I wanted to ask that does that mean I'm perfect? No. Does that mean you're perfect? No. But if we will turn back the hands of the clock, we'll go back in time. I will still choose you, and you still choose me. Okay, that's right. So it's not that we're not saying that we are perfect, that we are the best husband or best wife that there could ever be in the world. No, we're not saying that, but. We know that the other video we did for the other channel. The title is did we make a mistake or did we get it right? And truly, that's the truth. We cannot say we made a mistake. We got it right. So finally, what's your advice for couples currently going through a rocky marriage, a turbulent marriage? What's your advice for them?
Seek counsel.
Yeah.
Because sometimes what you are going through, like they used to say, is not new. Somebody may have gone through it, and just a piece of advice: do it this way. It may be something that will save your marriage. So don't keep quiet. Don't shut yourself. And when you are seeking counsel, seek the right counsel. It's very important. But because some people, by the time you start asking people that doesn't want good for you, they may advise you in the wrong way. But when you seek the right counsel and you are sincere, like they say, two work together unless they agree. There's no how. It takes two to tango. If the two of you are sincere, you really want to have a marriage. You will skate through. You will skate through.
I also want to say, before I say what I want to say, just in line with this, we have actually created a Telegram group. We call it the Married and Fulfilled Tribe. Married and Fulfilled Tribe. And that Telegram group, we want to share what we know, and other people too who are married share what they know. If you have challenges, you have problems, you have whatever, join. You're going to see the link in the description. It's going to be in the description. Just join that Telegram group. If you're not on Telegram, get an account. It's very easy to get an account on Telegram. We want to share. If there are issues, bring up issues, and we'll talk. We want to have a one-on-one. Give opinions. We'll talk about. So those who are 5 years in marriage, those who are 10 years, those who are 15 years, those who are more 20 years, they can share their opinions. And it's going to help. Even those who are not married, you can join. If you are not married, you can join that group. Because you will learn so much more ahead of time. So I want to encourage you, please join that Telegram group. Very, very important. So in my own answer to the question, my advice to you, just know your marriage can still work. Even if you are going through a rocky marriage, you are going through a problematic marriage. We have examples, personal examples that people we know who are going through rocky marriages. But one thing is that marriage can still work. It's up to you and your spouse.
If you want it to
work.
If
you decide to make it work, both of you decide to make it work, it's going to work.
It will work.
In fact, there's nothing like incompatibility or non-compatibility. There's nothing like that. It is up to you, both of you. Your marriage can still work.
And like my pastor used to say, there is no marriage that cannot work.
Yes, your marriage can still work.
Only if the two people
decide that
if you want it to
let
work,
it work. Let it work. So that's my advice to you. And like she has said, seek counsel, very important. And that's why we're also doing this this video, and also doing the Telegram group so that we can talk more and engage more. And if you maybe you are a young person, you are actually engaged, or you are planning to get engaged, and you need some kind of counseling or coaching, one-on-one or group coaching. I'm going to put a link there also where you can also book a free call so that we can just talk about it and see how we can take it from there. So it's been great. Wow, we spent quite a long time, but we really shared our heart out. So thanks so much, my lovely wife, for joining me on this quest to enlighten people and share to people on how our marriage, how far we have gone in 14 years. So was it worth it?
Yes, it was.
It's been worth it. It's worth it. Marriage is worth it. Marriage is not a scam. Forget about what those people are saying. Marriage is not a scam. So
as long as you marry the right
as long as you marry the right person.
If you are in the boat with the right people, you will enjoy the cruise.
Marriage is that's true. Marriage is not a scam.
Yes.
Marriage is good. It can be a bliss. It can be heavenly if you make the right choices, and that's why we're doing this video. So we've done also some similar videos like this on some other of my own channels. I'll link some of the videos in the description. Feel free to go to them, and don't forget to subscribe and subscribe to my channel. You're on YouTube and on other platforms. Follow my page. So watch out for more videos from us and from me. See you. God bless you. Take care. Peace.